All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at some of these problems. And what we're going to do is we're just going to figure out, do we have enough? Do we not have enough? So we might not have to completely solve the problems because you might already kind of know the answer before we have to completely 100% continue to solve it. So what I'm going to look at is this problem. First of all, I have a subtraction problem. I have an addition problem. And I'm going to work on this side first. So I have 4 minus 3. Is it equal to 1 plus a fraction plus a fraction? Well, first of all, just kind of by looking at it, I have 4 minus 3. That would equal 1. This one is going to equal 1, and I'm going to be adding some more fractions. But here I'm going to be taking some fractions away. Some of you might already be able to say is that no, it's not true. We kind of already do know this. But what I'm going to do here, though, is I'm just actually going to go ahead and kind of solve it a little bit. And I'm going to do 4 and 9/15, and I'm going to subtract 3 and 10/15. And here is where I actually can kind of stop my problem now, because I can't do 9 minus 10. So already right now I know I'm going to have to borrow, turn that whole number into a 3, and I'm going to have, 24/15, and I'm going to subtract 3 and 10/15. So when I look at this right now, I don't even have a whole number anymore. That my answer is 14/15. And the reason why this is not true is because this answer is going to be greater than 1, and this answer is actually going to be less than 1. So I know that just because this is what I ended up getting when I solved that. So I don't have to continue solving it just because I already know this is less than 1. This one's going to be greater than 1 because I already have 1 and I'm adding more of the fraction, and I don't even have a whole for that first side. All right. So on this one, Jackson really wants to ride a roller coaster, and he needs to be 1 3/4 inch taller. However, he's not there, so he can't wait. So he puts on a pair of boots that have a heel. That's 1 1/6. And he is going to add another insole to his shoe that is going to give him another 1/8 of an inch to his height. And I want to know, is it going to be tall enough? Well, when I look at this right now, I'm like, 1 1/6, 1 1/8. Okay, I've got that whole number, so he might be. But what I need to figure out here is, will I have enough? And here's actually what I could do, guys, is here is 1/6. Here is 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 2 3 4 5 6. Here's that 1/6, and then here's this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8, and here's that 1/8. Okay, but when I draw out 3/4, guys, I know that 3/4 is actually greater than a half. So it's greater. So here would be like my halfway mark on 3/4. It's greater than a half. If I were to look at these lines, this is where it's going to be half. If I take this little teeny tiny piece and put it right up here, is it going to be anywhere close to going over that half? No. No, he won't, because he doesn't have enough height with that 1/6 and 1/8 added together. All right. Looking at number 5, it says a baker needs 5 pounds for the recipe. She found 2 portions that are 1 1/6, and she found 1 portion that is 2 2/7. And I want to know, does she have enough to make her recipe? Because she has to have 5 pounds or more. Whenever you make a recipe, you always want to make sure you have more than what you need than not enough, because then you wouldn't be able to do your recipe. So she found 2 portions that were 1 1/6. So I'm going to do it 2 times. And then she found 2 5/7. All right. So I already know if I add, I'm actually going to condense these two or put these together, and I'm going to say this is 2 2/6 plus 2 5/7. So right now, if I add these whole numbers, I have 4. Okay, so, well, I've got to look to see, are these going to add up to a whole? Am I going to be able to get a whole with that? So let's see here. If I have 2/6 and then 5/7, I'm actually going to simplify this down to 1/3. Okay. And I'm going to look. So here's 1/3 and then here's 5/7. 1/3 and then 5/7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when I look at that, I'm like, you know what? It could, but remember, guys, my drawings are not perfect. So, you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm actually going to do this plus 1/3 plus 5/7, and I'm going to look to see what I have enough. 7 times 3 times 3. I'm going to get 7 21sts plus 15. Oh, you know what, guys? I made a mistake. It should be 2/7. I'm sorry. It shouldn't have been 5. That's where I'm getting off. And that's why I'm like, what is going on? I would have enough. Okay, so here we go. So now let's change it. It is 2/7, 2/7, 2/7. Okay, so kind of, whoop, back up that choo-choo train for just a second, because now we can look to see, oops, 6 21st, that here's that halfway mark. I don't have enough, even if I add this little area up here, I don't have enough. I don't have enough to make a whole entire hole here. So no, she doesn't have enough. And that the reason is because that last part of that fraction, these do not make a whole. Now, if it was 5/7, yes, she did have enough. But unfortunately, she did not have enough to make her recipe when she needed just 5 pounds of butter.